Emily, and today I'm here to bring you my March Mystery Madness TBR. We're so excited about March Mystery Madness this year. Our theme is Title-rrific 2021, and we've got this lovely board made by Sarah from the Bookish Knitter. You can see that we have 9 prompts that we'd like you to do, and ideally you would pick a mystery that fits this prompt and has a word or theme in its title that meets the prompts. So we're so excited, and let me show you all of my books that I picked out to read this year. The first prompt is single, and for this one I'm going to read Tangerine by Christine Mangan. This is about a woman who is living in Tangier, and while she is there, an old friend of hers named Lucy from her school days shows up, and the woman, her name is Alice, has never really felt comfortable with Lucy. She always felt like Lucy sort of took control of her life, and she is sort of disappointed that Lucy has shown up here. But eventually, the two women fall back into a friendship, and things seem to be going okay. But then Alice's husband goes missing, and Lucy starts dominating Alice once again, and she starts to wonder if the two events are related. So this is a book that I own on audiobook, and so this is going to be my audiobook for the month of March. The next prompt is number, and for this one I'm going to read The Eighth Detective by Pavesi. This is about an editor who goes to the house of a famous mystery book writer because she wants to re-release some of his work, and as they start editing these books, she starts to think that maybe these mysteries are coming from his real life, and she starts to wonder if maybe she should investigate these mysteries and how they occurred, and it's about her becoming more and more involved in these mysteries and trying to link the book and the mysteries together. This is giving me like Magpie Murder vibes, so I'm interested to see if the story is different at all, but it sounds really interesting, and one of my co-workers was telling me about it, and of course it fits the prompt. The next prompt is person, and for this one I'm going to be reading The Silent Patient by Michaelides. Sorry, I looked up how to say it and then I got nervous. Michaelides. And this is about a woman who murders her husband, like shoots him, and then she never speaks again. And so she's like in a asylum type place, and there's a criminal psychologist who wants to investigate her and try to see what her motives were for doing it, and so he starts getting involved in the case and trying to solve it. This is my work book club's book for the month of March. It just worked out that they happened to pick a mystery this month, so I'm so excited that I'm going to be killing 2 birds with 1 stone with this book. The next prompt is place, and for this one I'm going to be reading Saint X by Alexis Schaitkin. This is about a girl whose sister went missing and was found murdered on the fictional island of Saint X, and so they caught a suspect, but there wasn't enough evidence to hold him, and so he was released. And years later, the woman is in New York, I believe, and she meets this man again, and she starts trying to get close to him to see if he will inadvertently say or do something that that proves that he was the one that committed her sister's murder. I first heard about this one from Emma from Drinking by Myself, and she made it sound really interesting, and I'm really excited to try it. The next prompt is weather, and for this one I'm going to be reading The Dry by Jane Harper. This is about a man named Aaron Falk, who is a police investigator, but he comes back to his hometown while it is suffering a severe drought for a funeral of his childhood friend, and it's not really clear in the board, but there's also been 2 other murders, and I assume they were all murdered at the same time, but I can't really tell from the board. But Aaron gets involved in solving these 3 murders, and he's worried because he has a secret that his friend Luke shared, and he's worried that these murders are going to reveal the secret and cause devastation to his life. This is a very well-loved book here on BookTube. I've heard about it from Liz Schubert, and I've heard about it from Kate from the novel Nomad, and it just sounds really interesting, and I'm really excited to try it out. And of course, this the weather comes into the fact that it's called the dry, which is related to drought, which is a type of weather. The next prompt is color, and for this one, I might count Tangerine for this one and single because I do have a lot of books and I'm not sure I'm going to get them all read. But if I don't, if I do get them all read, I'd like to read Bluebird by Attica Locke for this prompt. This is about a black Texas Ranger named Darren Matthews who comes home to his small East Texas hometown for his father's funeral, or he comes home for a visit or something. And there's two murders that happened of a black lawyer and then a white woman. And these two murders are causing racial tensions in the town to boil. And Darren has to try to solve the murders before they explode. And it sounds really interesting, and I've heard so much about this. Again, there's a lot of people on BookTube that love this book and this series, and I'm really looking forward to trying it out for myself. The next prompt is time, and for this one, I'm going to be reading The Long Call by Cleeves. This one is about a man named Matthew Zinn, who comes home for his father's funeral, and he left his hometown a long time ago because they had religious beliefs that he didn't share, and he was rejected by the town and his family. But he gets called, while he's at the funeral, he gets called to a murder where the man murdered has a strange tattoo, and he gets sucked into solving the murder. And there's also like secrets, and I think his past and his present are going to come together in some way. And this counts for the time prompt because I'm making it count for the time prompt because I figure long is a period of time, because you say, how was it? And you go, it was so long. So yeah, I'm going to count long as a period of time. The next prompt is space, and for this one I'm going to be reading The Brightlands by John Fram. This is about a small Texas town called Bentley. I believe it's a fictional town, and their quarterback, Dylan Whiteley, goes missing, and his older brother Joel comes home from New York to be with his family while this is going on. And Joel was actually sort of shamed out of town because he's a gay man, and he now has a very happy life in New York. But returning home, drags up bad memories, and he's also dealing with the trauma of his brother going missing, and he begins to suspect that his brother's friends know more than they will let on. So it's about his past, and also trying to find out who killed his brother or what happened to his brother. I'm using this for place because I figure a land is a place. Again, I'm being very broad because I intentionally saved this book for March Mystery Madness. I read about it in Texas Monthly last July, and I was so excited about it because it sounds like such a good read, and I intentionally saved it, so I have to put it in here because I want to read it. Finally, the last prompt is our bonus prompt, which is to read a book that you picked up solely for the cover. And for this one, I'm going to be reading Bewitched, Bothered, and Biscotti by Bailey Cates. This is the second mystery in her Magical Bakery series, and this is following Katie Lightfoot, who owns a bakery in Savannah, Georgia, and she's also a witch, and she has just learned she was a witch in the first book, and she is a part of a coven with her aunt and some of her aunt's friends, and so the coven is teaching her like how to control her magic and spells and potions and all that kind of thing. And so it's about her. And this is another one where she finds a man with a strange tattoo, and it turns out that he is a member of a secret society, and so she is trying to solve. And there's also, he has had an object that belongs to the secret society, and it has gone missing, so she's trying to figure out if the missing object is connected to the murder, and so it's, she's just solving a case. And she also, at the end of the last book, she was in the middle of a love triangle with like a local reporter and then also a local firefighter, and so I assume that's going to come back into play as well. And finally, I have one non-mystery that I'm planning to read this month, and that is Miss Cecily's Exceptional Miss Cecily's Recipes for Exceptional Ladies by Vicky Zimmerman. This is a contemporary fiction novel about a 40-year-old woman named Kate Parker who volunteers at the Lauderdale House for Exceptional Ladies, where she meets a 97-year-old woman named Cecily Finn. And Kate has been going through some hard times in her love life and all that kind of stuff. And so Cecily wants her to read a 1950s cookbook called Falk for Food that Cecily believes will give Kate the answers to all of her life's problems. And as Kate is reading the cookbook, the two women become friends, and it's about their relationship and what she learns from the cookbook. And it sounds very, very cute, and I'm really excited about reading it. So there's a lot of mysteries with similar themes this year for me. People coming home to their hometowns and having their past and presents reconciled, and especially policemen coming home from to their towns. So yeah, I'm really excited about all of these books. Some of them have been on my list for a long time, and it's just going to be a great reading month. I do have 10 books on my TBR, which is a lot for me, so I don't know if I'm going to get to all of them, but I figure if I don't get to them all, I will save the ones I don't get to for Cloak and Dagger Christmas in December. So I'm super excited about March Mystery Madness, and hope you are too. I can't wait to see everybody's TBRs, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye!